And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the State of the Old Republic, a place where I will do stuff and talk about things. At least that's the idea. And since this is the first show we've ever done of this, we're going to address a few things. First and foremost, thank you for watching all of, or some of, or any of my videos to this point. And we will see what we can do about getting some of the kinks and problems taken care of. Now, as far as what we have to talk about today, I was going to talk about crafting, which is why we are here. And as you can see by the green text, I am currently crafting. But I wanted to address the launch of the game and how things are progressing so far. So far, the launch itself, now the real launch, not the not the pre-launch that was a week beforehand, so far has gone pretty well. There has been some server issues, but not in the way that you necessarily think. It's been more because servers have been full from the pre-launch. And we've had a hard time getting people to migrate. And so far, I have not really noticed a attempt to get people to transfer their tunes to another server so that it would alleviate some of the problems. But you know, we may very well see that in the very near future. We may not. You never know. But other than that, of course, there's always been the little patches for bugs and things of that nature. Slicing, of course, got nerfed because, well, it was handing out too much money and way too easy to get to 400. So now slicing does not pay for itself, and yeah. Not really one of the professions that you want to take unless you want, you know, something usable in a dungeon or raid instance. But anyway, we were going to talk about crafting today. And as you can see, this is the crew management, as crafting is done by crew skills. As you can see, my smuggler here is a armor mech who has scavenging and underworld trading. Now, the way this works is, for armor mech, scavenging is to make green items. If you want to make blue or purple or stronger items, you need underworld trading. Any other reason you don't need underworld trading. And that tends to make that third slot the slot that people were taking slicing in, because you didn't really need it, because blues and purples, especially at low levels like we are now, are not crucial. They do not have stats on them that just make sense for them to be blue or purple. Usually it's +1 endurance or +1 primary stat. That's usually about the biggest difference there is. Now, as far as what's available, you have Arms Tech, which is your weaponsmith. You have Armor Mech, which is what we are, which obviously makes armor. And we'll just take a run through, I suppose, and introduce you to all the Republic vendors anyway. This is Cybertech, of course, makes droid parts, earbuds, some modifications, synth weaving, which is Jedi clothing. So basically, if you want to make Jedi armor, that's what you want. As armor mech, almost a tech, does not make Jedi armor. Biochem is basically your stim slash midpack slash augmentation add-on, and I'll show a augmentation add-on as opposed to the rest of the modifications.
I think you're right, Gapco.
We also have the Artifice, which he makes all the Jedi weaponry type stuff, makes the crystals, which everyone of course uses, and he can make some modifications as well, as can
My results were less than ideal, Master. There is no excuse for this failure.
yeah, well, you're fired, C2. Alright. But basically, weaponsmiths, whether it be the Jedi version or the non-Jedi version, can make some modifications to weapons, but not all. The actual thing called a modification, for example, is made by the Cybertech. And then over here we have all the abilities that would go along with it. Bioanalysis, for example, would of course go with what you would expect it to go with. Archaeology goes with basically the Jedi skills. Scavenging goes with the non-Jedi skills. And of course, scavenging, which I just said, I think. And slicing, which, as you can see, may not be as popular as it once was. And as far as what you have up here, this is your number 3s, like treasure hunting and underworld trading, which is what we have. And then you have diplomacy and I think there's what mission? Investigation. Sorry. That's what it's called. But that's it. And we have mail. Should probably get that. Oh, it looks like his inventory is full. Alright, there's one way to deal with that. Backhand to Corso.
Later.
And no. Inventory is still full. Alright, so we need to show the next part of this, which is reverse engineering. After you craft something, particularly of green value, you hit the reverse engineering up here, and then you right click on the item. Because this is the effect you want. You now learn the schematics for critical fortified assault gauntlets. That basically takes the green and gives you a schematic for a blue. Now there can be multiple schematics of blues for, say, this particular glove. Or there could only be one. You never really know. Unless, of course, you've done it before, which, you know, we kind of have. As, boom, there's another one. Same gloves, same everything. Now, before I destroy that one, actually, if you notice under item modifications, you'll see augment. Now, that's where the biochemist augmentation would go, rather than, say, here, we close you, where these modifications go, like the crystal, the barrel modification and enhancement. None of that's an augmentation. So that's what the difference is. It's just an additional mechanic, which usually adds like one primary skill as opposed to multiple skill attributes, points, whatever. And we're just going to finish cleaning up our inventory real quick here. Yeah, we don't need these pants. Now, of course, as you loot stuff along the way, you can, of course, reverse engineer stuff that corresponds to you. Of course, if it doesn't correspond to you, you cannot reverse engineer it, but you can, of course, send it to one of your alts who does have something. I did go ahead and craft some things. Some that were above the level of our little smuggler here. In preparation. Come on, open the dock. Give me my gloves, you bastard. Don't you see I'm trying to look and sound professional here and you're not helping me. I don't like it. Alright, but anyway. You'll notice the crafted items I sent over can't reverse engineer because he can't make them. If I was an artifice on my smuggler, I could disenchant those. Alright, let's see here. I'm pretty sure I need to mod out some stuff. Like that, for example. Flashy. I really need to stop letting him name my guns. And I have a green crit gem to throw in there. Alright. We're a little bit better at this. Alright, so now we're going to go back into our crew skills. You'll notice next to your companions, you'll have basically the icons for the three. And you can click on them if you want that particular one to do it. For example, I'll click C2 to do this. And you'll notice it autofills C2 down here in the bottom right. Now for those gloves, we now picked up these instead. But we got two schematics that allowed us to make blues. Now as far as if you take these and make blues and basically disenchant them, can you get purples and then move on and move on? And really, I haven't seen it yet, at least not at this level. Of course, you know, again, level 16, but you know, anything is possible. They could very well have added that to the game. I'm actually pretty sure that they did, but as far as at this low level, I haven't seen it yet. But now we can get some new stuff, of course. And plenty of new stuff to make. Awesome. Alright, but that's pretty much it for crafting. And as far as, I suppose we ought to get back to the actual state of the old Republic here. We have noticed that more and more people are starting to actually level up. They're starting to kind of settle into their class choices. As usual, you're seeing a an influx of DPS and not so many healers and tanks. And as usual, that kind of just happens along the way. We do have, of course, healers and a tank. Actually, I think we have two tanks. Well, we're capable of two tanks. On the 8 characters that we have made so far. But, of course, again, we're only, you know, 16 to 18, so we're not exactly in the place where they specifically need tanks and healers. Like right now, we can run Hammer Station, but that's pretty much about it. And I will actually try to get a video of that up in the next couple of days here, before we start our Chapter 1 playthroughs. And that's also something else I wanted to address here in the video. I want to know what you guys want to see next. And not just what you want to see next, but how far do you want me to take it? Now, I'm not saying, oh, do you want me to play all the way through Chapter 5 before turning around and playing another class? You guys aren't going to get that option. What I am saying is, do you want one planet or two? Because in most cases, we've been given, say, Taurus and Nar Shaddaa, which the progression is Taurus and Nar Shaddaa. Taurus, Nar Shaddaa. Now, do you want to see both before I move on to the next class? Do you want to see one before I move on to the next class? Now, those votes will be separated from the class quotes because, you know, maybe your class doesn't win and you don't specifically want to see, you know, two of, you know, what does come out on top. And, if that's the case, then, you know, that helps no one. You know, because obviously I want you to watch things and you want to see things, or else you would not be watching this right now, would you? least that's my understanding of how this thing works. I don't think children in Indonesia or something are being forced to watch my crappy videos. But, who knows, maybe they are. And if they are... But anyway, that's it. So far, game, still around. It's not free to play. It's an amazing looking game. Plays great. No problems so far, but only time will tell if they decide to break it or not. I haven't really noticed any major happenings so far other than small changes and things of that nature. And of course, if anything major happens, I will probably talk about it at some point. But yeah, that's it for me. Thank you very much for watching and listening, and please vote and let me know what you want to see next, because if you don't, then I can't show it to you. And then you will be angry because you did not see Sith Warrior first, or, you know, Republic Trooper first, or Bounty Hunter, or whatever it is you want to see. So, yeah, say something. Otherwise, I promise nothing. Thank you very much, and I will see you next time.